Hi everyone, I'm Martin Littlewood. I'm a part of the Yogscast network, and today we're going to be taking you around the Yogscast Studios. We've got this fancy controller now where we can change the lights if I can press the button at the right time. Oh no, oh no.
It's broken.
Oh no, it's gone. There it is, it worked. I got it to work. Ooh, so shiny.
We're so professional.
Let's go. You can't show them the passcode?
My name's Ryan. I'm from a channel called Overwatch Central. We've been going for about a year, and we've recently just joined the Yogscast here in Bristol.
Hi there, I'm Mark Humes. I am the creator of the Tabletop Weekly YouTube channel, but I'm also the Dungeon Master for the regular High Rollers D&D stream on the Yogscast.
Hey guys, Caff the Caffcast here. I've been a YouTube content creator and live streamer for about 4 years now. Joined the Yogscast around about a year ago.
Hi, I'm Martin Littlewood. I go by In the Littlewood Online, and I'm a YouTube content creator for the Yogscast network.
Since then, I've managed to gather about 125,000 subscribers.
I'm very excited to talk to you about working in the games and media industry with YouTube.
When I was a kid, I remember my first games console was probably a Game Boy, and playing the very first Mario World on that and Tetris. But it was really kind of the early RPGs, things like Final Fantasy and even things like The Legend of Zelda, things that had these kind of cool, unique worlds that really sparked my imagination. And then that led to me playing things like Dungeons and Dragons, which I played with all my friends in high school. We'd sit together and roll dice and talk about dragons and elves and that sort of thing. And that really kind of then sparked on and led to what I do now.
I kind of grew up around the time when the PlayStation and the N64 were having a good old battle back and forth. And I've got 3 brothers, which meant that I could get a PlayStation, they could get a Nintendo. We had both consoles in the house. I remember spending a lot of time going out with my pocket money to a Blockbuster and renting out a game for the weekend. So I think I've always had a real love for the actual games themselves. The industry came sort of like second to that after I started working in the field myself.
It was actually the Yogscast way back when, before Minecraft was a thing. They did World of Warcraft guide.
What really started off was there's a channel called Geek and Sundry. They do a show called Tabletop, and they've also started doing a stream called Critical Role. And I thought that looks really fun. I really love the game. I'd love to do something like that. And it's all kind of taken off from there, really.
I watch people like Captain Sparkles, Sea Nanners, and kind of to an earlier extent, also the Game Grumps as well. They were quite big inspirations for me.
So what started off as a couple of friends getting together to play a nerdy game has now turned into my career.
I wanted to go into a development side of things. I wanted to work in games design. I actually went to university to study software engineering because back sort of 5 or 6 years ago, there wasn't really a proper games design course, and I thought it may be good to have a plan B. So I thought video editing would be quite a cool thing to do. I'd already watched loads of videos from the Yogscast and Game Grumps and those kind of people. Ended up actually practicing by doing, really. Just started making videos for those 6 months. Started doing the first year of my software engineering course. Ended up actually completing the first year of that course, but had gotten to a point where the channel was sustainable as a full-time job. So I had to make that difficult decision of, do I carry on in university or do I go into full-time content creation? And I chose the latter.
But I was a super fresh YouTuber at the time, and I just actually released a song parody of one of Lady Gaga's songs, and it was about Minecraft. That song blew up, and basically the guys came to me and said, hey, we've got this big channel, we'd love to put that on our platform, help grow it, we can change the music so we can actually officially sell it. That's sort of where the relationship started, and then we met about 11 months later at Minecon, the first Minecraft convention. 5 months after that was when they were like, hey, that thing we spoke about at Minecon, the officers, they're real, they're happening, do you want to be a part of it? And that's when I dove straight into it. So for me, it's just a lot of recording. It's all very tightly scheduled.
Oh, a typical day for me. So it's a little bit different now that I'm a full-time content creator making videos and things like that.
Me and the guy that I work with, we talk about what we want to do for the day, whether any news has hit, basically what each of us are doing. We then script out any videos that we want to make, record them in the recording studios here, and then basically just getting, making graphics, getting gameplay footage that we need to get, and then basically sitting around just in case any major news comes out on a night.
Just get started. A lot of people worry about things like, oh, I need to get this equipment or this camera.
So it's really not hard to get like a baseline level of kit ready. So in terms of microphones, headset microphones are okay, but if you want something that sounds a little bit clearer and a little bit fresher, there's a really nice set of microphones from a company called Blue. The industry as a whole is easy to get into, but it's kind of hard to get success in the industry. It really is a case of just bashing on that door, and it's a lot of sort of good luck mixed in with talent and then a little smidge of like people that you know.
So one thing I should probably explain is that I used to work in the games industry myself. I was a community manager for various games companies. I've worked on Jagex and NCSoft and a bunch of other kind of big games companies. And working for those things and getting to know the industry has been invaluable for me then moving into YouTube.
I think it's a really creative outlet. It's very competitive and difficult to get into for sure, but I do feel that things like music media and now gaming especially, there's more ways to learn from it from experienced people.
I mean, games design is so broad, like the amount of skills that you're going to get. Teamwork is massive on that front because obviously games have so many different elements, whether it's the coding, the sound design, the acting.
If you have any really cool ideas that you want to work with in terms of the programming and the kind of technical side of things, but also with, you know, soundtrack and music creation and rendering and art assets and all that kind of stuff, we are in such a great position to support, I guess, innovation, to support new ideas and new critical ways of thinking. It's really important for people to start investing in themselves by taking out a games design course or anything else that they can do within the field. If you're somebody who really has a passion for a certain thing and you feel like that can fit into games design, then do what I did and take the plunge. If I was a game character, I'd like to have just some spare lives. Be quite nice, you know, just so I can take a few more risks, not have to worry about the consequences.
Probably some sort of like conjuring something out of their imagination or something like that, like being able to like summon swords or dragons or something like that would probably be my ability.
Speciality, I'd have to say flying. The idea of flying is just so cool, but I don't think I'd want like big wings. I'd want something like quite mechanical, like a jetpack.
That's a really good question. Who would I want to be? I'd like Sean Bean. I'd like Sean Bean to take me on because he's got a lovely voice. Yeah, definitely.
If it can't be me, because that's the ultimate dream. That's what I always wanted to do. I wanted to do video game voices. It would probably be my friend Matthew Mercer. Does a pretty good British accent, and I think he knows my character. He knows me quite well.
Voice actor. I tell you what, because he didn't end up voice acting in Overwatch just yet, I'd love to be voiced by Terry Crews. He sounds nothing like me, but he's got the coolest voice.
I'm thinking of like Samuel Talley from Game of Thrones, honestly, that kind of thing. But the guy that voices the parrot from Aladdin, I forgot his name. But just a really sort of groany, horrible voice. I'm not painting myself in a really good picture here, but...
If I could spend a day with a game character, man. I think it'd have to be the video game version of Richie Rich, because Richie was pretty rich and he had a McDonald's in his house, so I mean, pretty cool, right?
Oh, that's a tricky question. I don't know. Probably somebody like Nathan Drake or Lara Croft, like go on some sort of crazy adventure, like, you know, exploring old ruins and having cool gunfights and stuff like that. That'd be pretty fun, I think.
A day with a game character. Ooh, it's a difficult one. Maybe I'd say somebody from... this one's a difficult one. I tell you what, I'd quite like to spend a day with Lara Croft. I was going to say someone from The Walking Dead, but I think that's a little scary.
I think probably Winston from Overwatch, actually.
To one gaming world, it's got to be a big one. Let's say to, I guess, Final Fantasy VIII, that whole kind of area like Balan Garden and all those lovely little areas, Costa del Sol and all that kind of stuff, yeah.
Ooh, tricky. Probably somewhere like the lands of Skyrim, because it's so beautiful, like incredible kind of like vistas and everything else. And yeah, I'm a big fantasy nerd, so...
Ooh, gaming world. I'm going to say something like Mario Galaxy, I think, because there are all these like tiny little pocket planets and they've all got a little different sort of like ecosystem, and you basically can just pick and choose what kind of mood you're in for. So if you wanted to go somewhere sunny, somewhere cold, it seems like it's all in like one place.
Ooh, these are really good questions. Oh man, I want a really good answer for this, that's the thing. Probably one of like the hub worlds in Crash Bandicoot. Mostly just so it's a bit of a cop-out answer because you could go to like different places. There's like an Arabian level, snow level, stuff like that. But either that or one like Pandaria in World of Warcraft, because I like the Asian aesthetic it's got and giant talking pandas.